Welcome to the E3 Woman Strategic Plan Questionnaire. My name is Kadina Tate and I am the CEO of E3 Woman. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you for joining us today. I appreciate the gift of your time and undivided attention. Please feel free to visit my website, e3woman.com, and visit me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Let's connect and play a bigger game together. Without further delay, let's go right into today's lesson. Let's talk about the Strategic Marketing Plan Questionnaire. To keep things simple, today I would like to discuss the 5 basic elements, and they include but are certainly not limited to the product and service offering that solves a particular problem, the target audience member who has the willingness to raise their hand and say not only, yes, I have that problem, but more importantly, are willing to invest in your products and services as the solution. There is a necessity for sales, promotion, and marketing to position your expertise so that when people think of the problem, they immediately think of you. Please don't believe the hype. Sales and marketing will be required to communicate your brand promise to the intended target audience. And finally, success is achieved by developing habituated ways of thinking and behaving. Leave perfectionism at the door and bring a sincere desire to implement your objectives with excellence, authenticity, and integrity. Let's take a look at your products and services. So often people say to me, Kadina, I don't know how to package my expertise. I'm not even sure that people want what I have to offer. For those of you who are struggling in this area, I've discovered that asking yourself the following questions will help you to build your confidence. First of all, what are you passionate about? What do others ask for your advice on? Allow me to remind you that there are 2 types of experts and both have value. Expert number 1 says, I've been there, done that, and let me show you the shortcut to success. And expert number 2 has studied other people, compiled the data into a success action plan. Both of these experts are worthy of your time, undivided attention, and financial resources because they both add tremendous value to the marketplace. Let me ask you, what are your natural talents? What obstacles and challenges have you personally overcome? Maybe you are not aware of the truth that a lot of times your mess is your message. You can help other people overcome the things that you've already been through. So what are your learned skills? The bottom line, what is your purpose and what message would you love to share with people? The late Stephen King of WPP Group London is quoted as saying, a product is something made in a factory. A brand is something that is bought by the customer. A product can be copied by a competitor. A brand is unique. A product can be quickly outdated. However, a successful brand is timeless. I want you to take action. Write down a list of products and services that you would like to offer and the compensation that you would like to receive in return. Remember that no one is going to pay you $500 for a $50 solution, so please get clear about delivering a compelling value proposition that helps a person to live a fuller, richer, and more satisfying life. Continuing on, let us move on to your target audience. Very specifically, who is already attracted to you and sees you as a resource? Who will you serve? Would you like to serve those individuals who are seeking spiritual growth, perfect health, lavish wealth, and loving harmonious relationships? Would you like to serve those individuals who are seeking solutions in the areas of time management and organization, business and career fulfillment? Or would you like to serve those individuals who are interested in technology, environmental issues, or issues regarding animals? The most important thing to note is that you must absolutely love what you do. Now I want you to take action. Let's talk about your customer avatar. Please pull out a sheet of paper, draw out a stick figure of a man or a woman, and then I would like you to describe them in vivid detail. Think about their age, sex, income, marital status, family status, their living arrangements, education, hobbies, hopes, dreams, aspirations, and fears. Think about what's keeping them up at night. Really get into it. Think about what are the things that they're even afraid to admit to themselves. I want you to write down the 5 places that you can find this person, both online and offline. You see, this figure will represent your customer avatar, so it's important that you study buyer psychology. You must get to know your client intimately if you intend to help them solve their problems. From this moment on, please focus all of your marketing efforts as though you were speaking to this single individual. My experience is that the number one benefit to determining your target audience is increased customer retention. This also leads to lower marketing and sales costs because you're not trying to advertise and be all things to all people. I truly believe that when you do what you love, the money does follow. So who are you drawn to? And allow me to share a brief personal story. In the beginning of my career, I suffered from a disease to please. I accepted every customer who showed up because I desperately needed the money, and I stressed myself all the way out. I said yes when I wanted to say no, and I gave more than I was comfortable giving. Thank goodness I hired a business mentor, and he advised me to stop the madness. His wise counsel gave me permission to work with those of similar passions who also desired a mutually beneficial, fun experience. The beautiful thing about being self-employed is that you don't have to work with high drama, high maintenance people. Please step fully into your power and stop being held hostage. Fire those customers immediately. Continuing on with positioning, a leader must understand what a network is, how to build a network, and how to grow the network. A leader must also understand the power of influence and connectivity. The reality is that although it may seem as though your service is similar to someone else's, the reality is that you will have to embrace the mantra, know thyself, in order to leapfrog the market and make any ideas about competition irrelevant. You have unique gifts, talents, strengths, and abilities that can be shaped into value-added products and services. The question is, why should I do business with you? What is your brand promise? What is your signature process? How are you different from someone with a similar product or service offering? Please don't be intimidated. I want you to look within and know that you are worthy and good enough. Remember, brand clarity is a key component of positioning. You must connect logically and emotionally with your target audience. Ask yourself these 4 questions. What's important to them? What concerns them? What do they want? How will they feel about your products and services? At the end of the day, you must be speaking to the right audience, in the right place, at the right time, and with the right message. You must know where to find them, how to get their attention, how to craft your communication so that they'll get it, and understand what motivates them to respond and remain loyal. I want to say this. Securing the position of online and offline thought leadership is not for lazy people. You must be attracted to the idea that the love is in the details. Moving on to communicating your brand promise. This is otherwise known as the pitch. John Maxwell says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. How will you personally communicate your brand promise? Please remember, you are in the business to solve problems, and your compensation will be in direct correlation to your ability to solve the problem without adding more drama to your client's life. Your pitch is important because brand value affects your profitability. It is a proven fact that customers will pay a premium for preferred brands 20 to 25% more. Customers recognize that your brand will help with retention and loyalty, particularly if you look at the cost to acquire a new customer versus keeping your existing customer. Also, branding will help you pre-sell prospective customers. And then finally, increases in brand equity also help to build your company's value. I would like you to be a leader who walks his or her talk and talks his or her walk. Congruency is key. Please draw a line in the sand and stay above it at all times. Reputation management is key. Now, what position would you like to own in the marketplace? How will you grab the customer's attention? Is your message being delivered to the right audience at the right time? And does your customer engagement experience match your brand promise and marketing message? If not, what are you going to do about it? What systems have you developed or will you develop in order to secure the position of market leader within your niche? At the intersection of your greatest strength, your competitors, or perceived competitor rather's greatest weakness, and the customer's true need is what I call the sweet spot. In order to leave a positive legacy, it is mandatory that you recognize the sweet spot and you use it as your personal lever of excellence. The late Sam Walton is quoted as saying, "There is only one boss, the customer. They can fire everyone in the company, from chairman on down, simply by spending their money elsewhere." Let's discuss planning for success. Every small business owner and entrepreneur faces both internal and external challenges that will influence whether or not their business will survive or thrive. I personally prefer to perform a comprehensive review of markets and opportunities every 90 days. This allows me to make long-term strategic decisions without the distractions of day-to-day marketing and sales activities. Daily decisions then fit into my company's overall strategic marketing goals. Ask yourself, what daily action steps am I willing to take to promote my brand? It is imperative that we understand that in order to create a culture within our business, we can ask every person with whom we do business to consider on a daily basis if their actions will position themselves and us as a marketplace leader. You see, I've observed that companies that have been around for 100 years have approximately 6 things in common. First, they're credible, so ask yourself, will my target audience believe me? Second, they're relevant. Ask yourself, does my message resonate and stick with my intended audience? Third, they are different. Ask yourself, have I set my company apart from any perceived competitor who has a similar product or service offering? Fourth, they're aspirational. Ask yourself, are my goals big enough? I personally believe that within every vision is provision. I don't believe there's a such thing as a goal that's too big. So stop shooting for the curb, hitting the street, and pick out a big, hairy, audacious goal and get to it. Fifth, they're actionable. Ask yourself, can I consistently deliver on my brand promise? And then sixth, they're sustainable. Ask yourself, does my brand have a long shelf life? Can I continue to evolve? I recommend that you achieve clarity about how your company, customers, products, and services fit together, and please develop an image that projects the highest level of professionalism and competence. I would like you to ponder the question, how are you going to change the game? Chess seems to be the universal symbol of strategy. However, it occurred to me one day that chess strategy is an imperfect representation for business strategy in particular. You see, whether you're a human chess player or a computerized chess player, you have the capability to memorize not only all of the possible moves that you can make, but also those of your opponent. Hypothetically, if you got good enough, you would be able to play out a whole game just in your mind because you could forecast all of the possible combinations of moves, and therefore you would choose those combinations that would allow you to win. And it is this particular ability to forecast the future which makes chess players successful. Unfortunately, life is not that simple, and the world of business is constantly changing. One of the things that I want you to think about is in chess, if business were like chess, you would be able to plan defensively for every possible attack. But this is not possible. So one of the things that I want you to think about is the importance of continuously sharpening your saw. You see, game changers will come along and knock you right off the board. For example, retailers never saw Walmart coming because Walmart changed the game. Yahoo didn't see Google coming because Google changed the game. The music industry and the industry that made those cassette recorders, they did not see Apple coming because Apple changed the game. And IBM never saw Microsoft coming because Microsoft changed the game. So what I want you to think about is, yes, it's important to know how to play the game, but it's more important to continuously be in a position to change the game. You must not rely upon the historical realm of possibilities. You see, no amount of memorization can guarantee long term success in business. So, while studying a textbook might be a great start to win the game, you are going to need to throw your textbook to the side and start rewriting the rules by getting engaged. Once again, how are you going to change the game? In closing, allow me to mention that for those of you who would like assistance in the area of turning your ideas into income, please visit me at livethefairytalenow.com to register for my free 21-day email course. Every day I will share a monetize your biz tip and a strategy to improve your mindset, skill set, and relationships. As we end our time together, I just want to recap that we've discussed the product and service offering, target audience identification, how to position your brand for maximum productivity, efficiency, and profitability, your pitch, and the action plan that's required to build a sustainable brand. Please feel free to visit www.e3woman.com. I would love to help you design your ultimate business plan for measurable, sustainable, multi generational wealth creation. Thank you.